Alright, here we go. This is a ranked 1v1 on Salt between the red player on the left side. It is Happy Death in a classic Angel. It's always interesting to see an Angel in 1v1. And his opponent, the Carbon player on the right side, it is Atyla. Atyla. People say Atyla. I say Atyla. I see the Y, and I Atyla. I don't know why. But in the Void Osprey, Atyla known for Osprey play. I kind of say that like every time I cast an Atyla game. I think I've cast like 4 or 5 Happy Death versus Atyla games, but I don't know. Hopefully this brings something new to the table. Happy Death is an Angel, which is kind of different, I would say. He will definitely clear a little bit faster because of that. That snipe is going to kill that T-45 really fast, and the damage output that you have, even at level 1 with that sniper rifle, is pretty high. We probably won't see any early harass, considering that this is a 1v1 between mechs that are not really suited for harass. Osprey, you can kind of get away with it by trying, but you have to really invest a lot. You have to really use your units to properly harass and really dedicate and make sure you actually get kills and stuff like that. Happy Death obviously going to be a little bit ahead there, clearing that bottom outpost, and Dillo's already coming out for the forward outpost, whereas Atyla is going with Longhorn, so that's a very important distinction. If it was the other way around and the Angel is fighting against Armadillo, then that would be crazy, because you can snipe down Armadillo a lot faster than Longhorn. Does look like we do have a little bit of harass by Happy Death, killing 1 creep. So that's all you really need. That is all you need, and he is able to deny or delay that outpost capture. Might actually be able to kill the creeps that have already latched themselves inside that neutral outpost. And so Happy Death is actually putting himself firmly ahead here. Atyla bringing a couple of creeps now, finally taking his last outpost. And although it's only a difference of maybe 15 or 20 seconds, that's a pretty huge difference in 1v1. It does allow Happy Death to now start a lot more units at the top. Bucky's first, so that's guaranteed safe damage as long as the mech does not respond to it. And going with a Dillo, oh man, a Dillo drop. Oh, but on capture. Oh no, on attack. Okay, instead of going down this way and up this ramp, went around this way. So that was kind of a weird placement by Happy Death, but great job doing that. And then this Dillo will eventually get to the fort and distract Atyla. So I really like attacks like that. And actually, these Bucky's doing work already without Happy Death even having to be there. So that's kind of like current meta, that is a current meta tactic, I guess you can call it, is to use Bucky's like shooters used to be heavily used, where you just drop them off to one side and hope they eventually do, get work done. And Atyla now having to take care of that Dillo, so brought him away from the battlefield for a little while. But yeah, dropping Dillos in the way that a lot of people used to use shooters a lot, and kind of still do, but because Bucky's have kind of replaced them in that role. But yeah, throwing them somewhere where you don't have to pay attention to, and they will do work as you do work. So being able to fight a multi-pronged fight without having to allocate too much attention into the other battlefront, into the other front line. But Happy Death has lost these two Dillo and 1 Longhorn drop by Atyla. Atyla now going to start in the bottom here, going to be able to snipe a couple of units pretty quickly if Happy Death does not come and react, and he won't, because he's trying to deal with these tanks that neutralize his bottom left outpost. So it does look like Atyla will be able to get the better of this exchange at the top. If he uses his units, and he uses them soon, he will be able to gain firm control and a surround on that middle outpost. But now Happy Death is coming back to respond to the fight, although he is way behind. If you look at the unit composition, it's light units, 1 tank and 2 Buckies against pretty much all tanks at the top there. So Atyla could actually even power push through. I would think, okay, now Happy Death is coming with some Jackals, but using them in more of a harass capacity, gonna put them on attack to go for a fort. So Atyla will be forced to respond while Happy Death snipes down units over here. Great use of Angel, kind of forcing the enemy to pay attention to something else, so you can freely snipe his higher value units. And these Jackals are actually still doing a little bit of fort damage, while Happy Death ferries a couple more Jackals and Dillos. But Atyla, okay, has been able to ferry over to the other side of the post. Happy Death will get the neutralization, yes, but Atyla has a stronger unit composition over here. And this situation here, this top fight on Salt, oh no, Atyla almost getting finished off. Wow, that was crazy. But yeah, this top fight on Salt, Happy Death really needs to be creative, and he is actually doing that. Landing on the right side over here, does notice that Atyla does not have any AA, which is a little bit of a strange choice, especially against an Angel. I think maybe healing units, something like that, but he's just going pure tank. Atyla's going completely pure tank. and that might be a little bit, that might be kind of a mistake at this point. At this point, he's lost a lot to Happy Death Snipe, whereas a little bit of AA or some healing units would have delayed that Angel Snipe from taking advantage of the, you know, the positioning over here that Atyla has situated his units in. He does not have any healing units, does not really have any AA, just one flacker, just a single flacker is a little bit dangerous. Right now it's 10 units, or 11 units on the field actually, 14 to 14, it's extremely even. Box out on the field, guys. Box out has been on the field for a while, I think. But yeah, right now Happy Death and Atyla battling out at the top, but Happy Death can't do what you usually do with Angel on maps like Twin Peaks Duel. Crater even is pretty good because you can usually just sit behind your units and snipe like crazy, and it's pretty safe. But here you can't really get the angles that you need on Salt, especially the enemy frequently uses this outpost as cover, so you can't really shoot through, or you can't at all shoot through an outpost. So this is not going to be an easy fight for Happy Death, but he's been very creative so far, so let's see if he can actually continue. Atyla going to go past here, going to do a neutralization on this top outpost, but a little bit of poor placement here would have been a little bit better because it wouldn't have been under fire from that armadillo, but now it does draw Happy Death down to this bottom left fight. Atyla saving one of his Dillo, not actually going to be able to get these outposts neutralized, as Happy Death has come with reinforcing jumpers and needs to get that Dillo out of there if he actually wants anything accomplished, because as a mech versus mech over here, Happy Death is going to easily be able to keep up with it, and Atyla losing health rapidly to Happy Death's sharpshooting and follow, and he might, oh man, very close to getting that, almost getting that kill. But yes, lost the Dillo, so Happy Death is slightly ahead. Oh no, actually, slightly behind. 18 to 20 upkeep, 14 to 17 units out on the field. Atyla still trying to get this neutralization, but bringing back only 3 of the Dillos. Okay, got the 4th one now. Oh no, but got finished off by the Longhorn over here. So Atyla falling, well, not falling behind, but has now fallen to even. It is around even right now. But yeah, the minute little differences in 1v1 can make a huge difference, but it really depends on the situation. As of right now, both these players are playing it very well. You know, keeping their positioning solid, not making over commitment type of moves, not playing it too risky. And Atyla still holding back here. Happy Death with a great unit composition over there. Tanks, a couple of healing units, and even some gaddies to handle the outpost neutralization or re-neutralization once creeps walk in. Atyla now finally putting tanks back to back. Happy Death gonna have a little bit of a difficult time over here trying to snipe, but yeah, Atyla not with more AA units. A little bit surprised to see if these units are not really in a direct confrontation with Happy Death's units. So the a little bit more AA would not really hurt too much, because he's not really using all the units at a time, not really holding a line necessarily. And yeah, Happy Death is creating a lot of chaos for Atyla by just dropping like crazy, sniping, and making him fight battles in more than one location, just like this. So now Atyla is pushing up. He is going to finish off a couple of units over here, but this is actually going to be a significant amount of fort damage if Atyla doesn't react pretty quickly. So although it's going down fairly slowly, Atyla now going to be able to grab that bottom left, needs to go all the way back to his fort to react to this. This will go down to neutral because there is a lot of units over here for Happy Death. But is Atyla even okay? Okay, set it on capture. Needs to set it on a capture so they can focus down the outpost. They aren't really doing that. They're getting really distracted. I don't know if capture actually focuses down outposts anymore. Has gone down to neutral, but yeah, I know that was a functionality before, and yeah, now the damage is really ticking down. Atyla is about 2/3 health and needs to go back sometime soon. This is a very important battle right now, so as long as he can... no, he's probably not going to be able to maintain this. This Angel does too much damage. The Dillo is actually, is going to force him out of the area, but he's able to finish off that one as well, dropping 2 defensive Dillos over there. So now Atyla is in desperation mode to try to, salvage the attack that he succeeded in before. But now it's too late. Happy Death has retaken control of that bottom left outpost. Atyla has taken mid, but for a very short amount of time. 25 to 21, so Happy Death slightly ahead right now. At 8 minutes and 49 seconds into the game, we are about a minute away from level 3 creeps, and that's when it starts getting kind of dangerous, folks. Level 4, obviously, is when it gets really crazy, when the creeps just start mauling down lower tier units. We're at level 6 and 7. Does Atyla have goalies in his loadout? I would assume so. You don't see it in his loadout 1, but usually people put him in loadout 2. but can now start to crank out goalies if he can manage to save up enough. But goalies are really expensive, and it does not look like he will be able to save up his money at this stage of the game, because he really needs to keep up with all of the pressure that Happy Death is throwing down. Happy Death has been doing a great job doing drops, doing behind enemy line attack drops so that they can eventually reach the fort, etc., etc. And Atyla still mostly tanks. It's almost pure tank over here. Let's see. One flacker, just the single flacker. Which, if he concentrated on a single spot, if he was able to afford to concentrate on a single spot, a heavier AA army, an army with more AA, would be very beneficial. Okay, now finally bringing out an artillery, which is hilariously late at this point. But at this, the way that this game has played out, he's kind of forced to, not bring out artillery and stuff like that until around now. Happy Death already had 2 out on the field, and no healing units over here for Atyla, so the unit composition is kind of weirdly lacking, and I'm not really exactly sure why. It's a very basic high-tier thing to do. Tanks, AA, healing, and artillery are the main components of a mid-fight army. You're throwing a Bucky here or there, you're throwing a Grinder or a Roller here or there, but yeah, those are pretty much the basic components, and he has no real AA and no healing units. It's all tanks all day and one piece of artillery. No, 2 pieces of artillery now. So 32 to 32, Happy Death gonna go for a neutralization here on the bottom, and gonna go for, okay, that was weird. I think he thought that this positioning would have been in range. It would have been in range for a tank, but not for a Jackal. Jackal needs to be a little bit closer. Does neutralize the bottom right. And so Atyla will be a little bit down in income, and max upkeep, not really a huge factor right now. 30 out of 32, and he's going to be losing units probably before he's gaining them. So needs to pick up, okay, does command move them to here, I believe. I'm assuming that's what he did. But Atyla losing a lot of units, just relying on his Osprey for the healing. Now finally bringing out a Ratchet to the fight, where Happy Death already has a very diverse unit composition. Gaddy out on the field I'm not really sure what the point of the Gaddy was. I guess to kind of distract, but it was in a really strange spot. I guess to shield him or something like that, but Atyla was there, so that was kind of weird. But yes, this did clear that the Jackals that were dropped by Happy Death. But 24 to 30, Atyla is actually in the lead right now. The Jackals that were lost by Happy Death, I guess, were pretty significant. And okay, drops a single Longhorn over there to take care of the Jackal. But Atyla actually pulling back, and now that does give Happy Death the angle that he needs to really utilize this Angel in a mid-fight on Salt, which is pretty crazy. The Overshield does go down, which is very troublesome for an Angel, but Happy Death grabbing the box, going to be able to spit out a couple more units. 1 more tank to be exact, I think, is still the case. 2 Archies up for Happy Death and 2 for Atyla, so it's a very mirrored mid-fight in that respect. But yeah, again, the 2 healing units over here versus the 1 for Atyla, and with these numbers, 2 versus 1 is actually pretty relevant, I would say. Atyla actually able to snipe 1 or 2. I didn't really notice that right now, but I think it's 2. There's 2 unit debris over here, a couple of units, and Happy Death able to kill a Longhorn. Atyla finally here to save it, but able to kill an Archie. Really hard for Atyla to keep up right now. 2 Ratchets would probably do it. 3 would definitely do it, but 2 plus an Osprey is very, very safe. The 1 plus an Osprey, it gets hard to keep up with. Okay, now we do have a Goliath out on the field for Atyla, trying to bring it out forward, and a Goliath out on the field for Happy Death as well. Level 7, level 8. So the leveling is a little bit slower nowadays. I think that was a balance fix, more recent, one of the last couple of patches, balance fix. And does drop a Bucky here, but not in any real... I'm not really sure what the point of dropping in this location was. That was really weird. Maybe dropping it here would have... Oh, it stopped to fire. That's why he did drop it on attack, but it stopped to fire at these creeps. So that, I guess, is one disadvantage. Didn't have to be a Bucky though. Could have been a Jackal. Could have been a tank. Could have been a Dillo. Would have done roughly the same thing that that the Bucky could have done should it not have been distracted. Okay, but now Goliaths are on the field. That is getting serious. That's going to be a humongous game shift in favor of Atyla, because the more health dense... Oh no, and the Goliath going down for Happy Death. That is pretty humongous. Atyla needs to bring that goalie back. There you go. But again, 1 more Ratchet would mean a lot, I would think, in this battle. Another box out on the field, and grabbed by Atyla. Happy Death gonna try to snipe down the lower health units, the lesser health units, not the goalie. The Goliath leading the way is a distraction. It is a wall that the enemy puts up to try to absorb all the damage, because you have a lot longer to save that unit, to come back and respond to it, to react and bring it back. And it's hilarious not to see any generators on the field after that mechanics change, where generators needed to be charged. But honestly, I think proficient use of that would be humongous for an Osprey. And the Dillo does go down. And Atyla dropping it not in the Angel's face, which is kind of weird to see. There you go. The Gorgon does go out, and Happy Death is like, oh, boosts away immediately. Sees that Gorgon and was like, nope, I don't want any of that. So he won't really be able to do much harass at that bottom anymore thanks to that Gorgon. Again, a healing unit down there to maintain and top off health would be pretty valuable. And the Dillo alone is very dangerous. But now, oh, Happy Death moving out with Buckies that do stop to shoot. So that will actually, oh, okay, and Gangster's out for Happy Death. Gonna drop him to neutralize over here, and these, and he will finish this Flacker off. Atyla does see the Buckies, but the Gangsters will neutralize pretty quickly over here. Okay, there you go. Leapfrogs the tanks over to kill the Buckies, and does respond to the Gangsters. The Gangster did get neutralization. I'm not really sure why Happy Death left these here. He should have just brought them back to save, but instead they just kind of got killed. That was kind of a waste. He kind of threw those to the dogs. 18 units on the field to 20. That's crazy. These unit numbers are crazy. It's 34 to 35. No one has been really that close to max upkeep of 44 for their sides posts yet. And Happy Death is now trying to snipe down goalies, because that's the only thing in front. Atyla might even want to start trading out Longhorn for Goliath if he's struggling for credits. It's 4,000 versus 12,000 right now. What is a goalie? A goalie's like 16,000, right? Something like that. But yeah, if he can't afford Goliaths, I mean, it's huge. It's a humongous difference against, well, especially if you're an Osprey. So, a reasonable move for Atyla, now dropping nuke silo down and protecting it with all these tanks. That's crazy. Yeah, especially against an Angel who can snipe it down really quick. Definitely need to do that. But yeah, a nuke silo going down for Atyla. A nuke will probably come out pretty soon, actually. There you go. A marker has been dropped and gonna start to drop it. Okay, now gonna hover. Probably gonna wait for a Happy Death to leave and then drop it, hide it under his units. Will he even be able to see it? Okay, you do see the beacon of light. Will Happy Death notice the beacon of light? It is very relevant and does start to bring units back. Probably should put him on follow command, follow and move. But Atyla has until this. Okay, no, never mind. There you go. The nuke is out, and the majority of Happy Death units will be saved. The Jackal will probably get killed. No, nothing. But in the meantime, Atyla has been able to bring a couple of tanks down here to the bottom. Will he be able to get this neutralized? The Gangster is the only thing that Happy Death has over here. He does get neutralization, but will he be able to grab control? It's a long walk for creeps to get here to the bottom left, and I don't really think he's going to be able to do it before Happy Death is able to reinforce. The generator on the outpost socket, that's craziness. But okay, does reallocate these units down here. He has been able to pull them out, or pull them down, follow move, but it will take them a long time because he does have a Goliath mixed in there. So if he did not have the Goliath in there, they would be there a lot quicker. Atyla hasn't even brought creeps, so I guess he's not really going for taking that post. Oh, he's actually pushing his bottom units. This is going to be quite a clash over here, and Happy Death's units are all coming all at once as well. So, okay, Atyla will be able to grab control of this post. Level 4 creeps take a long time to knock out of the post, so I don't think this is actually going to be able to achieve neutralization. Oh, it does. It reaches first. He was able, those red units were able to reach first, but I am very interested to see if this will go past. No, they will both stay on their respective sides of the outpost, but a nuke does go down now for Atyla. Oh, but not under the units, so Happy Death will be able to see it. He can actually follow move them out of the way as well, or just simply micro them out of the way, but he will micro them into Atyla's units moving left, so this is actually pretty huge. The goalie is the last one there, but all the Happy Death is trying to do is get them out of the way, but the nuke marker has actually done its job. It has been able to push Happy Death's units back, or at least force them back, and in the meantime, Atyla has been able to take control of this middle outpost. So at this point, it's 25 to 34. Atyla has a very strong unit upkeep lead right now, and Happy Death just trying to snipe down what he can, but with Atyla here in, in his presence, he won't really be able to do very much at all. Has been able to take this bottom left outpost back, which is pretty crazy, because these units were not stopped. They just rolled all the way through, so that Gorgon's actually going to get itself killed, as Atyla has lost that bottom left outpost. He could have kept it if he had them actually on hold, but taking the mid was probably worth it. That was probably a more worthwhile use of his mech attention, and that has been able to gain him the advantage. Pretty decisive advantage in the Salt game. Salt, very, very linear. I know people try to think that you can go up and down the bridges, but I mean, you kind of can. And then this path is so slow. It's just the pathfinding in AirMech is very, very slow. So in my opinion, personally, I really think maps, especially lanes, need to be a lot more open, so they're a lot shorter travel distance. It does open it up to the dangers. Dangers is kind of a weird way to put it, but like the dangers of light unit spamming. If the game can get a little bit spammy if the lanes are too open and light units become, I don't want to say too strong, but too strong in that specific way. I don't really like how the game evolves or devolves when when paths are just way too open, and the route from post to post is too direct. But anyway, Happy Death has an insane spread over here. Lots of Buckies, a goalie in the front, which is to be expected, and Atyla has no longer has the upkeep lead, which is crazy. 41 to 38. I don't know, maybe Happy Death grabbed a box or two or something like that. Might be able to snipe down this silo, but Atyla is able to save it. Needs to put a goalie in front of that, I would think. I don't know why Atyla is making mostly Dillos right now. It's pretty weird. I mean, I guess they are more damage efficient for their cost than Goliaths, but the raw power of Goliaths and their ease of management, especially on a map like Salt, I would think that he'd want to convert to those, so. But it does look like the nuke is down again. Happy Death will be able to reposition. I don't know what Atyla is trying to achieve with this nuke, besides forcing Happy Death to play, unit shuffle for about 5 or 8 seconds. Assassins are actually attacking the marker, which is hilarious. Able to kill a few units, but not really worth too much. Right now, Happy Death is going to just keep on harassing as much as he possibly can. It's hilarious that Atyla is behind in upkeep, but I guess that is attributed to more Goliaths out on the field, and Happy Death has mostly like Armadillos and Bucky, which is kind of crazy. Oh, okay, he was massing up Assassins. They don't really kill stuff, so I'm not really sure what he's trying to achieve with it. So these Assassins are going to go down if they're set on attack. Oh no, they're going across the bridge? I thought this blocks the path. I thought those physically block the path. Okay, I guess not. So they will encounter nothing until they hit the destination that they are supposed to, which I think is Fort. And they are very destructive once they hit Fort. They have had a damage reduction since the last time they were considered broken. But I'm really, really fascinated to see what Happy Death is planning here. Gonna do a fort attack with Goliaths. I would think that he was gonna try to do a surprise fort attack with the Assassins. Might want to try to do a switch to capture. Okay, but this is really weird. This is a really strange attack. The Assassins are going to do damage, but they are going to get killed pretty quickly. I think by level 4 creep spawning, and Atyla can even just drop and shoot. But the Goliaths doing tons of damage and actually have gotten Atyla down to about a quarter health. The Goliath still has not been blocked by there's a Dillo right here that you can actually put in blocking position, but has not been put in blocking position yet. And Happy Death is crazy distracting these butchers, and there is a dangerous amount of fort health left on Atyla's fort right now. Finally finishing off the goalie. And Happy Death might be able to get this just with drop finishes, but if Atyla is at all attentive, he just needs to wall up a little bit and put a lunchbox down. Probably doesn't have lunchbox in his loadout. Possible. It's very likely in a 1v1. But now does sense the danger. He is now moving out. Might want to even move out with these units at the top. There's a lot of them there, and the Bucky there is just firing freely, doing damage. Is there a ratchet up there? Yeah, no. So that's hilarious. So Atyla going all in the bottom here. Okay, gonna stop them. no artillery over here, so I'm not really sure what he's planning on doing. Needs to bring out a Bertha or something like that for this to really be, to really make sense, because the defensive line that Happy Death has down there is crazy. And Atyla going down with a Gorgon in his cargo, I think. Goliath getting killed. Oh man, this is crazy. Happy Death is doing crazy stuff right now, forcing Atyla. I guess that was kind of an on-tilt move, that Atyla moved out. Now all these units are going to be lost. Now coming back to the fight, desperately trying to fly back in time to save whatever he can. Gonna pull back something? No, just gonna... Okay. Oh, okay, yeah, gonna pull him back. Ah, and Happy Death grabbing the box over Atyla. That was crazy. 40 to 45. So actually Atyla has a unit advantage, but these units are doing nothing. So he basically fought with half of his army just there, pushing there at the bottom. And Atyla harassing, killing some Buckies, while Happy Death able to kill. I'm assuming this is a Longhorn of some sort. Oh, and Atyla might actually get himself killed. Where's the silo? It's got to be down here. And Happy Death did not notice. That will do a lot of damage. A lot of the light units have been finished off, and a lot of damage has been done to all those goalies. Atyla actually might be able to finish off some with his guns. Happy Death needs to grab that goalie. He was probably okay. It would have taken Atyla another 2 or 3 seconds, I think, to kill that Goliath at the rate that the health was dropping. But yeah, that was a great nuke by Atyla. 33 to 39. He is back in the advantage after that weird push. That was terrible. But, oh no, Happy Death might be able to, okay, wow, craziness. Atyla able to save that silo. Needs to probably put that Goliath right on the silo, I would think. Probably a good move. Again, going Dillo heavy, which is dangerous against this Angel. But Happy Death not able to snipe anything down with, this mech being... Okay, never mind. Those were there. Now going to recycle them out for goalies or something else. I'm not exactly sure, but going to position a couple of level 4 creeps over there for defense. What is Happy Death doing? He is coming with a couple of creeps just to do some fort damage. No, does not really have an opening. There was a flacker here and a flacker here, so that was kind of dangerous. I don't know. Maybe just dropping and sniping the fort corner might be able to finish off this this game at this point. A couple of those, even if he dies a few times, he might be able to get that finish. So let's see. These units pushed out this way do have a pretty solid lane. Oh, he's doing it again. He's massing up assassins again. I was kind of wondering where his credits were going. That is insanity. That actually might be able to get the finish because... let's see, 1, 2 Dillos. Okay, all these level 4 creeps just sitting there will actually kill those assassins pretty quick. But Happy Death might be able to make them follow move to the back if he's smart and get them to attack. So let's see if he can actually accomplish, a finish, a kill using those assassins, which might work. That's insanity. So Atyla here to maintain his front line there at the bottom. Dropping another marker, which Happy Death definitely sees. Will just kill one creep or one infantry that is lashed over here. Atyla does see it. Atyla does see the assassins because he dropped a goalie, and and this is Happy Death's chance right now, I think. There you go. That didn't really do very much, and this is Happy Death's chance to do something. He's just gonna... Okay, he's gonna snipe the nuke down, which will be kind of expensive for Atyla to replace. I think it's 10,000 or 20,000 to replace the silo. It's either 10 or 20. I think it's 20. I gotta look at it. I haven't reviewed my numbers in a really long time. I forget these things. But yeah, that was a pretty good kill right there, and that kill on Atyla himself was pretty huge. But now his assassin force is way smaller. But the thing is, either way, Atyla does not know. There's no way for him to really know when it's coming when it comes. He just has to kind of keep his eye out on that spot. Maybe drop a unit to just constantly test here or there, or maybe try to be ready. Is Happy Death sending out finally? Yes, he is sending out all those assassins. So there's a couple sitting over here. There's about 6 wasted right now. He set it on capture. Oh man, I think he set it on capture. Either that or attack move. Okay, no. They went down this way instead. That's kind of weird. Instead of going this way, even though they were already here, they didn't go through the middle. Man, AirMech's pathing is really confusing. But he is trying to supplement them with a gangster drop, a single gangster drop. Is Happy Death gonna go with switch to T over here, or switch to capture over here? No. Oh no, they got caught by those level 4 creeps. So they are not really gonna be able to do very much, because they are getting caught by Atyla right now. So Happy Death just gonna snipe. And it was very unfortunate for Happy Death that Atyla dropped that the Goliath over here and detected as assassins, because that might have actually been a successful finish using those assassins there. That would have been awesome. That would have been awesome to see. But these gangsters actually might be able to do it, honestly, because gangsters move so fast and they do so much damage, especially to Fort, that it's pretty devastating, potentially. Even if he has a small number, as long as Atyla doesn't see them pass. If Atyla misses them pass, then that's just game over. But lots of level 4 creeps, because of their strength, just littered like crazy all over this field. They are basically free units, and Happy Death now going to fly over to this side to see whatever he can snipe. He does see the Whopper out on the field. Okay, Atyla not able to save it with the heal. Should have probably just picked it up. I think the Osprey's nature, like natural inclination to just directly heal anything that's under fire, that is probably just kind of like a bad habit of Ospreys, I would think. A lot of Osprey players do that. When I play Osprey, I guess I kind of do the same. I don't really play Osprey very much, or at all in a long time. But yeah, it's just something that a lot of Osprey players tend to do, because the majority of the time you're trying to save a tank, which is high health, and you're going to be able to out-heal the enemy pretty quickly. And Happy Death grabbing another box, so keeping this game very even, 60 to 56. Gonna try to clear mid. I'm not really sure why he's going to clear mid. Maybe he's trying to move through it or hold it. Maybe he's going to try to hold the middle platform. You know, take that positional advantage. It's very difficult without an outpost, though. You really need the right unit composition, and you really need to do it very carefully. And you cannot really be intercepted by the enemy. But having this location here, he's kind of free to snipe at all of Atyla's units over here. The more gangsters out on the field, he might be able to use those to, again, get the finish. And has Tile walled up at all. No lunchbox in his loadout, but lots of whoppers down on the field. Happy Death actually is going to be able to get this goalie. Yes, wow. Tyler needed to pick that up ASAP and did not do that. So now Happy Death gonna move up forward. Gonna finish clearing mid. Atyla still not moving out at all because of Happy Death's ridiculous unit spread. He's actually, Happy Death's at unit cap at 59, whereas Atyla has expanded his to 71, using all those whoppers back at the fort. And so at this point, Happy Death is just gonna be sitting on credits. Okay, now we're gonna make a whopper. Does he have full socketed whoppers? No, he has a couple sockets left open at the fort, and all 4 fort corners are still open as well. Tyler gonna drop some creeps to clear those assassins, to reveal those assassins. But yeah, 61 to 63. Another box going up. Happy Death gonna slowly move his units up, or gonna straight send them on attack. I'm not sure, but now Tyler with a couple butchers, finishing off all those whoppers, gonna upkeep cap Happy Death right now, leaving one. That was kind of weird. But those butchers just set on hold position. Happy Death powering through. Is he gonna go for the kill right now? We're at 32 minutes and 28 seconds of the game, which is pretty crazy late. And Happy Death actually gonna go for the outpost attack. That is so strange. So strange. Gonna neutralize this outpost most likely. No, the Goliaths are getting very confused. Needs to supplement them with gangsters, which he is coming with. Will get the neutralization, but will he get the better of this exchange? I don't know. It might be an overall loss for Happy Death, even if he gets this neutralization. He needs to keep it neutral for a long time for this to really be worth it, and he needs to trade, because they're already at upkeep cap. And Happy Death saving that Goliath, needs to pull it back. Those gangsters are not nearly worth as much as the one Goliath. Actually, I think 3 gangsters are pretty close, if not more. But the Goliath is a lot more frustrating to lose, I guess. So now going to try to snipe this Goliath down, which he actually will get because Atyla has not come back yet. Again, the lack of healing units, just relying on your Osprey to heal, it gets very hard to keep up with, especially against a player that can fight a multi-pronged fight like Happy Death can. A couple of level 4 creeps getting dropped here for Happy Death to try to clear out those butchers. Now Atyla just scouting around, actually. And repositioning. Might be able to get the kill on Atyla. No, does get a Q heal. Not able to focus down the Osprey. And barely gets out of there. So Happy Death is like, ah, damn it. Grabs the box. Might as well. Might as well. Atyla gonna socket the rest of the Whoppers on his corners. But at this point, how I don't really know how each player can really proceed. Atyla still has the positional and income advantage, but is actually behind an upkeep and way behind. Well, 35 units on the field versus 28. I was going to say behind the units because look at all these units that Happy Death has all over. But I guess the majority of the units for Atyla are back here protecting the low health fort. So that's the kind of like weirdness that happens in late game AirMech stalemates. That's how they kind of get created, where the player that's at an advantage needs to allocate his units to the back to protect his fort. It's just one of those common scenarios. And the player that does not have the advantage positionally and economically doesn't really have anywhere to go because of you know, the defensive lines that the opponent has been able to create. So it's kind of like similar. I guess it's sort of similar to, you know, like StarCraft siege tank lines that get created. And Happy Death avoiding fire with that loop-de-loop. So at 35 minutes into the game, we have had level 4 creeps for a really long time, but they have not really been able to do the job that they needed to. Happy Death might actually be able to stack creeps and send them all at once to get some stuff done. I don't know if Atyla can really do the same thing, considering the unit composition and locations that he has of his units. But yeah, Happy Death, okay, now massing up some gangsters, or probably had those gangsters massed up for a while and just didn't notice it until now. But yeah, how can really each of these players move forward? I guess Happy Death, at this point, you're really soon to be upkeep capped. So he can start to harass like crazy, kill off some of these defenses, and then maybe do a drop eventually because of how low Atyla's fort health is. I mean, has a lot of options. And might be able to, no. Yeah, there you go. Splitting the fire. And at level 14, his fuel tank is so crazy high that he can just snipe for days. And actually going to get this, no, not going to get this outpost neutralized. Going to fly back with his Goliath. 54 to 55, extremely even. But with the max upkeep already hit by Happy Death 59, a 20 upkeep room to grow for Atyla right now. Happy Death just trying to prevent, oh man, hits an object. Yeah, that's lovely that you can do that. Hits these sandbags or whatever, the salt bags, salt piles, I don't know. Salt licks. Finishing off a couple Whoppers, forcing Atyla to rebuild them, but it's at this point it's kind of just a stalling tactic. I really do think that he can afford a couple of gangster drops. And maybe even a secret gangster cluster down here or something like, or no, you can't put anything here. Sadly, I'm not really sure why these freaking things are here, but you can put it here and it'll probably not be detected. As far as Atyla, yeah, I guess these nukes, oh boy, where is this going? That is important. That is important to know. They are going, and Happy Death has the option of change. That's a lot of gangsters, and Happy Death has the option of changing their trajectory at any time, which is really, really powerful in today's AirMech. Does change them to follow move. Gonna go for this top right outpost, and easily gonna to neutralize them with that many gangsters. But Atyla still has that marker in his cargo. Oh no, he put him all the way over here, and Atyla dropping the silo marker right there. If Happy Death sees that, he really needs to do something about it. It needs to follow move him out of there. There you go. They will move out of the way extremely quickly, and that will be completely lost. A completely lost missile. Happy Death now gonna shift his focus to this middle outpost, which is easy neutralized. Able to mass up that many gangsters, can just freely do whatever he needs to. Actually might be able to get a good amount of these units killed because gangsters just kill insanely fast. I guess it was sort of Atyla's bad for not realizing that Happy Death had massed up that many, not really scouting enough, because the unit positioning around the outpost is really definitely is not good against that type of attack. Now going to go for more fort damage. Might go for the kill right now. With considering the amount of gangsters that Happy Death has, and he can just surround the fort by microing around once they get here. And is that what he's going to do? Now going to reposition the Goliath. Can start to micro these gangsters around. No, but very, very low health, like a tenth of his health left on Atyla's fort, and the Goliath is still alive. The gangster's still kind of doing a little bit of damage. Happy Death still sniping the fort, could reposition the goalie, but it doesn't really matter. Atyla getting taken down. Happy Death taking this ranked 1v1 on Crater over Atyla. Wow, that was a very interesting game. Long game. Probably the longest game I've cast in a couple months, but very, very interesting. Really, really weird, though. And I don't know. There's a lot I can say. Lunchbox, the whole 3 loadouts to 2 thing. There's been a lot of changes recently in the last, since Strike has come out, you know. Not come out, but has been declared. And I don't know what else there's to say that I can say in like a short amount of time. I could probably, yeah. I don't know if I can pick a turning point. That was too long of a game. I'd have to go back and rewatch it. Because there's just so much crap in my head right now. That ending was, it could have came sooner. It could have came sooner, considering the amount of fort health that was left on Atyla's fort. Happy Death could probably have finished that a lot quicker, or done something like that gangster push. And I'm a little bit sad to see that people don't micro when they hit fort nowadays. Not too much. It's such an effective tactic, and it's kind of, I consider that AirMech 101. That's like one of the first things I learned once I hit like mid-tier. And you got to move your units around, because they're very susceptible to getting just focused down to all the units in one spot, especially because they are not attacking other units. They are attacking the fort. So the other units surrounding are not dying slowly at the same time your army is, because your army is completely focused on the fort. So if your goal is to do fort damage, make sure that your army can actually accomplish that and move, surround the fort. Anyway, that's the short rant that I'm going to have right now. Send in your replays. If anyone is interested in helping me verify replay integrity to make sure they play back all the way, because replays break nowadays, please let me know. I have a few helpers, but I could always use some more. This is RUI, and that is game. See you next time.